Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Chandrasekhar, other senior government dignitaries, Secretary General ITU, and a long-standing friend of mine for over 20 years, Doreen, and many of my industry colleagues who are here today. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a great pleasure today to be once more special. This event showcases India's development in telecom infrastructure and its digital technologies. In this very hall, not too long ago, the leaders of the world's top 20 countries assembled and witnessed India's rise on the global standing in both political terms and economic terms. But what the world has sat up and noticed and has been awestruck is the digital revolution in this country. I have been a long traveler on this journey. Since 1983, I've been a part of India's telecom story, but I can tell you that the real story began when Prime Minister Modi ji took charge in 2014. He knew the power of technology. He used it in Gujarat for the benefit of the citizens of Gujarat and the society. He realized that if India has to achieve its place on the top table of the world, technology needs to be put to use. And one of the main pillars of his vision was Digital India. That fired up all the entrepreneurs who are connected with telecom and digital services. That ushered in the 4G revolution in this country within 2 years of his assumption of office. That brought in smartphones in the hands of not just rich urban Indians, but in the poorer Indians in the most rural and hinterlands of India. That, as our minister rightly said, ushered in a revolution of digital broadband connectivity that connected them to wonderful services that both private sector and indeed the government and public sector had to offer. That spawned a number of startups in this country, turning many of them into unicorns and bringing in billions of dollars from the world. That stage was set to be used for Prime Minister's second term in 2019, when he came in and recognized that India is highly dependent on imports of telecom equipment and digital equipment. India at that time was importing nearly $500 billion worth of equipment from all over the world, including from our neighboring country. He asked Indian entrepreneurs and world corporations to come and set up manufacturing bases in India. And I mentioned this before here, India had lost the manufacturing race in the previous 20, 30 years to China and other parts of the world. That call to action has resulted in today India becoming a major manufacturing hub where the animal spirits of Indian entrepreneurs and the global corporations are unleashed by the support of a massive productivity-linked incentive program, the PLI, as well as ushering in the most complicated, complex process which no other country has really initiated in a manner that India has, of trusted sources and trusted products. Today, every element in this country that is coming goes through the detailed eye of National Security Council on Telecom. Every source, every product, every element of India's network that connects our nation passes through that rigorous test of trusted networks and trusted products. This is seminal development which other countries need to follow very quickly. Before the second term expired, he recognized that India may be left behind and become a follower once again in 5G. He asked Department of Telecom and the Indian operators to gear up and launch 5G at the fastest pace possible. And I'm glad to report, and I'm sure most of you in this room are connected to a 5G network, India not only launched the fastest 5G networks in the country, not just in urban areas, but including all the villages and rural areas, and more network rollouts are happening as we speak every day, every month. And within a matter of next 12 to 18 months, again, each and every part of the country will be connected through a very powerful 5G network. That was, to my mind, the seminal contribution of the second term of Honorable Prime Minister Modi. But as we know, he never rests on his laurels. You achieve something, he will give you a bigger task to do. India has now dialed up its ambitions to be a semiconductor destination as well. A number of initiatives by the government of India have been taken to now start the process of manufacturing semiconductors in this country. Alliances globally are being built. India and US have recently signed a critical technology partnership. India has gone ahead and signed partnerships with France, with UK, with Japan, and many other leading countries, including Taiwan, to come and set up shops here in semiconductor. The other big part of the third term is going to be opening up of space industry for the private sector. That, to my mind, is again one of the huge developments that India is seeing. Friends who are here from the world, from mobile industry, recognize that it's almost impossible for terrestrial services to cover every square inch of any country, or our oceans, or our skies. In the past, just like 2G, we had the VSATs, which were connecting on a very slow 2G type of dial-up speeds some of the critical areas. With the launch of LEO networks, the low Earth orbit networks, now we have the possibility of connecting 4G speeds and massive capacities in the hands of those who have been left behind. India has 95% of population covered, but they live in 75% of the places. There are 5% of people who are in those remote areas, in mountains, in forests, in deep remote rural areas, where USO is trying to catch up and provide the services. And I want to assure the Prime Minister that with the launch of SATCOM services in this country, anybody, anywhere in the country, however remote or in difficult conditions they may be, will be able to connect on a fast-speed network to the internet using voice, data, videos, whatever is required, as is done on a 4G, 5G network. Doreen is here. ITU assigns the spectrum and orbital slots globally, and that job will keep on happening. However, there is now a debate going on across the world, and that is where I would like to draw the attention of the Honorable Prime Minister, that intertemporal choices will have to be made as to how satellite, which is moving fast in technologies, need to coexist with terrestrial networks. My message is very simple. Telecom companies around the globe have done a seminal work in connecting the world. They will take the satellite services into the remotest parts of their nations through the USO program and directly through themselves. And those satellite companies who have ambitions to come into urban areas serving elite retail customers just need to take the telecom licenses like everybody else, be bound with the same conditions. They need to buy the spectrum as the telecom companies buy. They need to pay the license fee as the telecom companies do, and also secure the networks like telecom companies do. This is a simple solution which can be done on a global scale, and India can again show the way in this particular regard. Finally, Honorable Prime Minister, I'd like to assure you that Airtel has been at the forefront of India's telecom revolution. It has stood the test of time. It has seen the journey right from the 2G and dial-up modems to where we are in India today, creating a digital revolution that the world is seeing. And Bharti Airtel will be a very responsible company. While building these fanciful networks, it'll be responsible towards its customers, it'll be responsible towards its stakeholders, and I'm glad that Airtel took the initiative of launching India's first anti-spam network, blocking in billions of calls coming from scamsters, billions of messages coming from fraudsters to secure the lives of our customers. We are now working with the industry to ensure, and with the Department of Telecom, that our people, when they're using these networks and enjoying all those services, are safe and secure. Honorable Prime Minister, Bharti Airtel will play its role in your vision of building a very powerful India. Thank you very much.
That's Sunil Bharti Mittal highlighting Prime Minister Modi's contribution to India's digital revolution, whether it's the fastest 5G rollout with 5G covering every part of India, in metros and, now even in rural India. The steps that India has taken to become a semiconductor manufacturing hub, and also highlighting that how the next frontier of communication is now moved to space with satellite communication, and how space satellite telecommunication needs to exist with terrestrial communication, which is where Airtel on a private level has interests. But Kumar Mangalam Birla of Vodafone Idea is now speaking. Let's cut across.
CN Secretary DOT Dr. Neeraj Mittal, my colleagues from the industry, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be here as we mark the inauguration of the 8th India Mobile Congress and reflect on the remarkable progress made by the telecom sector in delivering connectivity and the benefits of digital transformation to Indian citizens. At the heart of this progress, as we know, lies the steadfast progress support of our government. Our government has consistently recognized the importance of digital connectivity and has introduced several reforms over the years to drive us towards an even more connected, empowered, and inclusive digital nation. Pradhan Mantri ji, इस डिजिटल परिवर्तन की नींव आपकी विजन ने आधारित की है. What has been remarkable in this journey is the government's continued thrust on expanding digital infrastructure and accelerating digital adoption for people and businesses equally. As a result, the digital transformation is now moving beyond just the large businesses to our MSMEs, enabling them to break traditional barriers and enter new markets. A few years ago, our Prime Minister had articulated that MSME means maximum support to micro, small, and medium enterprises. We at VI2 are committed to providing maximum support by promoting digital transformation to India's small businesses. With a focus on technologies like 5G, IoT, AI, and cloud services, the VI Business Ready for Next program is helping MSMEs assess their digital readiness, identify areas for improvement, and adopt necessary digital solutions to become future-ready corporations. Since its launch in June 2022, over 1.6 lakh MSMEs have used the VI platform. And through the power of our telecom platforms, I believe that we can create a thriving digital ecosystem that empowers our MSMEs to drive India's economic growth. Robust connectivity is also transforming how we live and how we work, as demonstrated by solutions showcased by VI at IMC this year. High-speed networks are making telemedicine possible, for example, in remote locations, allowing medical professionals to diagnose and treat patients virtually and bridging the gap between urban and rural healthcare. Just last year, India achieved the remarkable feat of 10 crore teleconsultations, and I believe that this is a matter of great pride for every Indian. Real-time high-speed connectivity will also enable safety and improved efficiencies in critical industries for sectors like mining, construction, and industrial automation. Unimaginable some years ago, it is remarkable how far we have come in connecting people, machines, and devices with such efficiency. Today, we are building a future where virtual and augmented reality immersive experiences will become increasingly integrated into our daily lives. One of the most pressing issues being addressed by the government, regulator, and industry in the past year is spam control and fraud protection. As networks have grown, we have the potential risk to the public, especially from phishing schemes, fraudulent calls, and spam messages. These undermine public confidence in communication systems and also put people's personal and financial security at risk. In collaboration with the government and regulatory bodies, VI is making significant strides in combating this menace. Vodafone Idea is committed to bringing new and innovative solutions that will fundamentally address spam and fraud at the very core. Public awareness campaigns, too, are helping to educate users about how to identify and avoid spams. This year has also been an important one for Vodafone Idea, as the company has taken critical steps in its own transformation journey. The company's 18,000 crore FPO, marking the largest of its kind in India, was met with overwhelming enthusiasm. It was oversubscribed 7 times overall and an astonishing 19 times amongst institutional investors. The surge in demand culminated in a total bid for approximately 93,500 crores across various investor categories. This response was an emphatic endorsement of the potential of the Indian telecom sector. To me, it signaled the faith that investors have in our Prime Minister's bold vision of a digital India. The fundraise has enabled the company to kickstart again its capex cycle. Vodafone Idea has already announced the next phase of capex detail, worth $3.6 billion, with 3 global partners, Nokia, Ericsson, and Samsung. These are all key steps that place VI on a more secure footing and ensure that the company remains dynamic and competitive. With the continued support of the government, I'm confident that we will do our part to realize the Prime Minister's Digital India destiny. I am a firm believer in the transformative power of India's telecom sector, and I see it as a bridge to a more connected, empowered, and prosperous India. Thank you once again to the government, to our partners, and the entire telecom community for making the past year truly an exceptional one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Birla. May I now invite the Secretary General ITU, Ms. Doreen Bogdan-Martin, to please address the WTSA 2024.
Namaste, India. Namaste, Modi ji. Namaste, Minister Sindhya, Minister Chandrasekhar, Minister Mittal, Chairman Abani, Chairman Mittal, Chairman Birla, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to stand with you here today, with you, Honorable Prime Minister, to open the 2024 World Telecommunications Standardization Assembly and India Mobile Congress in a joint ceremony. I think this is a powerful symbol of the deep ties between the ITU and India. Ties that were at the heart of our meaningful conversation last year when I had the great pleasure to inaugurate, together with the Honorable Prime Minister, the ITU Area Office and Innovation Center.
Welcome back. One standout feature of the IT earnings has been the continued recovery in BFSI, banking and financial services. So for HCL Tech, if you adjust for the one-off impact because of the State Street JV divestment, BFSI revenue growth was 4% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. The company in August had said that North America BFSI is already showing signs of recovery. What has changed in the quarter from August to October is that now BFSI recovery is broad-based, which means it's not just North America, but Asia Pacific and Europe, which is also participating and seeing a recovery. TCS numbers also showcase the pickup in BFSI. So just to recap, revenue growth, BFSI revenue growth was 1.9% quarter on quarter versus about 0.6% growth that we had in the prior quarter. So a recovery. So which stocks should you watch where there is a greater BFSI presence? One of them is LTIMindtree. This one reports numbers on Thursday, and BFSI contributes about 35% to its overall revenues. And again, the street is expecting strong numbers. This quarter, about a 2.7% revenue growth, aided by a recovery in BFSI. The other stock to watch would be Mphasis. This one reports numbers tomorrow. Again here, after many sluggish quarters, growth is expected to be decent at 1.5% to 2%. BFS is about 47% of its revenues, and the mortgage business is about 6% of the top line, and the street is going into the earnings with some optimism. Since June, the Mphasis stock price has rallied close to about 30%. The company over the last 2 years has reported lackluster numbers because of this BFSI presence. FY23 revenue growth was just 7.8%, and last year revenues declined by 6.3%. But this quarter, aided by a expected pickup in the BFS and bottoming out, the street is expecting about a mid-single-digit kind of a revenue growth. There are other stocks too to watch. So you've got fintech companies like Newgen. They provide banking software platforms. Newgen provides more to the Asia-Pacific and Middle East and India in particular. But since HCL Tech is talking about a broad-based pickup, watch for Newgen. Oracle Financial Services and First Source too, we know, are fairly highly indexed to the BFS space where we are seeing a pickup.
It's going to be an IT-heavy day yet again, so we'll be tracking that for sure. For the markets, let's quickly take a look at what's happening here, because we have seen a fall from the highs. The Nifty, as we speak, is down around 80 points. We do have it coming across the board, so it's a 162-point cut from the highs of the day. We did see some recovery at around 10:30 a.m., and it has stabilized around those levels. But if we talk about the Bank Nifty, that's the one which is seeing a cut of around 100 points. We have the mid-cap index, which is down around 100 points. The small cap index, on the other hand, that continues to do well. So the small cap index is in the green today, up around 0.5%. But a lot of these sectors are in the red. We have the Nifty Auto Index, which should come up for you on the screen. That is the top loser. We have Bajaj Auto, which is the top loser today. And remember, it reports numbers tomorrow. So ahead of that, a crucial number is what we are seeing in terms of cuts on Bajaj Auto today. We'll do one thing. We'll slip into a short break now. When we return, we'll discuss market technicals with Mitesh Thakkar, also discuss his top trading bets. Stay tuned.
इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स, टेलीकॉम एक्सपर्ट्स, स्टार्टअप्स की दुनिया के मेरे प्रिय नौजवान, देश दुनिया से आए अन्य महानुभाव, देवी और सज्जनों, इंडिया मोबाइल कांग्रेस में देश और दुनिया के आप सभी साथियों का बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन। मैं इंटरनेशनल टेलीकॉम यूनियन ITU के साथियों का भी विशेष स्वागत करता हूं। आपने WTSA के लिए पहली बार भारत चुना है। मैं आपका आभारी भी हूं और आपकी सराहना भी करता हूं। साथियों, आज भारत टेलीकॉम और उससे जुड़ी टेक्नोलॉजी के मामले में दुनिया के सबसे हैपनिंग देशों में से एक है। भारत, जहां 120 करोड़ यानी 1200 मिलियन मोबाइल फोन यूजर्स हैं, भारत जहां 95 करोड़ यानी 950 मिलियन इंटरनेट यूजर्स हैं, भारत जहां दुनिया का 40% से अधिक का रियल टाइम डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शन होता है, भारत जिसने डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी को लास्ट माइल डिलीवरी का इफेक्टिव टूल बनाकर दिखाया है। वहां ग्लोबल टेलीकम्युनिकेशन के स्टैंडर्ड और फ्यूचर पर चर्चा ग्लोबल गुड का भी माध्यम बनेगी। मैं आप सभी को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। फ्रेंड्स, WTSA और इंडिया मोबाइल कांग्रेस का एक साथ होना भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। WTSA का लक्ष्य ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड्स पर काम करना है। वहीं इंडिया मोबाइल कांग्रेस की बड़ी भूमिका सर्विसेज के साथ जुड़ी हुई है। इसलिए आज का ये आयोजन स्टैंडर्ड्स और सर्विसेज दोनों को एक ही मंच पर ले आया है। आज भारत क्वालिटी सर्विस पर बहुत ज्यादा फोकस कर रहा है। हम अपने स्टैंडर्ड्स पर भी विशेष बल दे रहे हैं। ऐसे में WTSA का अनुभव भारत को एक नई ऊर्जा देने वाला होगा। साथियों, WTSA पूरी दुनिया को कंसेंसस के जरिए एम्पावर करने की बात करता है। इंडिया मोबाइल कांग्रेस पूरी दुनिया को कनेक्टिविटी के जरिए सशक्त करने की बात करती है। यानी इस इवेंट में कंसेंसस और कनेक्टिविटी भी एक साथ जुड़ी है। आप जानते हैं कि आज की कॉन्फ्लिक्ट से भरी दुनिया के लिए इन दोनों का होना कितना जरूरी है। भारत हजारों वर्षों से वसुधैव कुटुंबकम के अमर संदेश को जीता रहा है। हमें G20 का नेतृत्व करने का अवसर मिला, तब भी हमने वन अर्थ, वन फैमिली, वन फ्यूचर का ही संदेश दिया। भारत दुनिया को कॉन्फ्लिक्ट से बाहर निकालकर कनेक्ट करने में ही जुटा है। प्राचीन सिल्क रूट से लेकर आज के टेक्नोलॉजी रूट तक भारत का हमेशा एक ही मिशन रहा है, दुनिया को कनेक्ट करना और प्रगति के नए रास्ते खोलना। ऐसे में WTSA और IMC की ये साझेदारी भी एक प्रेरक और शानदार मैसेज है। जब लोकल और ग्लोबल का मेल होता है, तब न केवल एक देश बल्कि पूरी दुनिया को इसका लाभ मिलता है, और यही हमारा लक्ष्य है। फ्रेंड, 21वीं सदी में भारत की मोबाइल और टेलीकॉम यात्रा पूरे विश्व के लिए स्टडी का विषय है। दुनिया में मोबाइल और टेलीकॉम को एक सुविधा के रूप में देखा गया, लेकिन भारत का मॉडल कुछ अलग रहा है। भारत में हमने टेलीकॉम को सिर्फ कनेक्टिविटी का नहीं, बल्कि इक्विटी और अपॉर्चुनिटी का माध्यम बनाया। ये माध्यम आज गांव और शहर, अमीर और गरीब के बीच की दूरी को मिटाने में मदद कर रहा है। मुझे याद है, जब मैं 10 साल पहले डिजिटल इंडिया का विजन देश के सामने रख रहा था, तो मैंने कहा था कि हम टुकड़ों में नहीं बल्कि होलिस्टिक अप्रोच के साथ चलना होगा। तब हमने डिजिटल इंडिया के 4 पिलर्स की पहचान की थी। पहला, डिवाइस की कीमत कम होनी चाहिए। दूसरा, डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी देश के कोने कोने तक पहुंचे। तीसरा, डेटा सबकी पहुंच में होना है। और चौथा, डिजिटल फर्स्ट ही हमारा लक्ष्य होना चाहिए। हमने इन 4 पिलर्स पर एक साथ काम करना शुरू किया और हमें इसके नतीजे भी मिले। फ्रेंड्स, हमारे यहां फोन तब तक सस्ते नहीं हो सकते थे जब तक हम भारत में ही उनको मैन्युफैक्चरर न करते। 2014 में भारत में सिर्फ 2 मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट थी। आज 200 से ज्यादा है। पहले हम ज्यादातर फोन बाहर से इंपोर्ट करते थे। आज हम पहले से 6 गुना ज्यादा मोबाइल फोन भारत में बना रहे हैं। हमारी पहचान एक मोबाइल एक्सपोर्टर देश की है। और हम इतने पर ही नहीं रुके हैं। अब हम चिप से लेकर फिनिश प्रोडक्ट तक दुनिया को एक कंप्लीट मेड इन इंडिया फोन देने में जुटे हैं। हम भारत में सेमीकंडक्टर इकोसिस्टम पर भी बहुत बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हैं। फ्रेंड्स, कनेक्टिविटी के पिलर पर काम करते हुए भारत में हमने ये सुनिश्चित किया कि हर घर कनेक्ट हो। हमने देश के कोने कोने में मोबाइल टावर्स का एक सशक्त नेटवर्क बनाया, जो हमारे ट्राइबल एरियाज हैं, हिली एरियाज हैं, बॉर्डर एरियाज हैं, वहां बहुत कम समय में ही हजारों मोबाइल टावर लगाए गए। हमने रेलवे स्टेशन और दूसरे पब्लिक प्लेसेस पर वाईफाई की सुविधा दी। हमने अपने अंडमान निकोबार और लक्षद्वीप जैसे आइलैंड को अंडर सी केबल्स के माध्यम से कनेक्ट किया। भारत ने सिर्फ 10 साल में जितना ऑप्टिकल फाइबर बिछाया है, उसकी लंबाई धरती और चंद्रमा के बीच की दूरी से भी 8 गुना है। मैं भारत की स्पीड का आपको एक उदाहरण देता हूं। 2 साल पहले मोबाइल कांग्रेस में ही हमने 5G लॉन्च किया था। आज भारत का करीब करीब हर जिला 5G सर्विस से जुड़ चुका है। आज भारत दुनिया का दूसरा बड़ा 5G मार्केट बन चुका है। और अब हम 6G टेक्नोलॉजी पर भी तेजी से काम कर रहे हैं। साथियों, भारत ने टेलीकॉम सेक्टर में जो रिफॉर्म्स किए, जो इनोवेशन किए, वो अकल्पनीय है, अभूतपूर्व है। इससे डेटा की कीमत बहुत कम हुई। आज भारत में इंटरनेट डेटा की कीमत लगभग 12 सेंट प्रति जीबी है, जबकि दुनिया के कितने ही देशों में 1 जीबी डेटा इससे 10 गुना से 20 गुना ज्यादा महंगा है। हम भारतीय आज हर महीने औसतन करीब 30 GB डेटा कंज्यूम करते हैं। साथियों, इन सारे प्रयासों को हमारे चौथे पिलर यानी डिजिटल फर्स्ट की भावना से नई स्केल पर पहुंचाया है। भारत ने डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी को डेमोक्रेटाइज किया। भारत ने डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म बनाए और इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर हुए इनोवेशन ने लाखों नए अवसर पैदा किए। जनधन, आधार और मोबाइल की जेम ट्रिनिटी कितने ही नए इनोवेशन का आधार बनी है। यूनिफाइड पेमेंट्स इंटरफेस यूपीआई ने कितनी ही नई कंपनियों को नए मौके दिए हैं। अब आजकल ओएनडीसी की भी ऐसी ही चर्चा हो रही है। ओएनडीसी से भी डिजिटल कॉमर्स में नई क्रांति आने वाली है। हमने कोरोना के दौरान भी देखा है कि कैसे हमारे डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म्स ने हर काम आसान किया है। जरूरतमंदों तक पैसा भेजना हो, कोरोना से निपटने में जुटे कर्मचारियों तक रियल टाइम गाइडलाइंस भेजनी हो, वैक्सीनेशन का प्रोसेस स्ट्रीमलाइन करना हो, वैक्सीन का डिजिटल सर्टिफिकेट देना हो, भारत में सब कुछ बहुत स्मूथली हुआ। आज भारत के पास एक ऐसा डिजिटल बुके है जो दुनिया में वेलफेयर स्कीम्स को एक नई ऊंचाई दे सकता है।
Continues to be a red-looking screen. The Nifty is down 70 points. We have the mid-caps, which are absolutely flat, but with some negative bias. It's the auto index, really, that's putting some pressure. So the likes of Bajaj Auto, all these stocks, they are lower in trade. We also have M&M, which is lower right now as we speak, and Reliance Industries, too, down 1.4% at the day's low, which is putting some pressure on the Nifty. But we'll do one thing, we'll slip into a break, and as we wrap on the show today, let's bring you a CNBC-TV18 exclusive. Speaking to Shireen Bhan, Cognizant CEO Ravi Kumar sounded optimistic about the company's outlook for the next few quarters. He also spoke about the rise of AI and how the company is navigating geopolitical challenges. Listen in.
Almost 2 years of steering the company through a turnaround plan. We've spoken about this previously, but at the end of 2 years, how confident do you feel about being able to meet the targets that you had set out for yourself and the turnaround of Cognizant?
Thank you, Shireen, for the opportunity to talk to you again. Very excited. I mean, if somebody said this is what I would get at the end of 20 months, I would take it. I had broadly set up 3 goals. One, to simplify our operations. So we've done an extremely good job of simplifying it. The second is to create commercial momentum. And over the last 18 to 20 months, we've created some amazing commercial momentum with large deals. Last year, we closed 17 large deals, more than $100 million. And for the first half of this year, till Q2, we closed 13 of them. So we're in a good spot there. We've got our clients back. The mojo of the company is back in the market. We're winning. And I do think that we are progressing well to be in the winner's circle, which is where this company deserves to be. I mean, in the 25-year history of Cognizant, since its listing, for almost 21 to 22 years, we were in the winner's circle. On employees, which was my third important priority, to be the employer of choice, I've also said this, that we should be on a virtuous cycle of clients and employees. And if we are on that cycle, it's an easy business. If you're not on that cycle, it's a hard business. Our employees are starting to feel very positive about us. Our attrition rates are on an all-time low. When I started this stint, it was pretty high. Of course, the labor markets were heated up as well. In a decent labor market, our attrition rates are very low. Interestingly, we have changed the paradigm of why employees should be betting on Cognizant. And the things which I'm excited about is the learning opportunities on the platform, the ability to create internal mobility. You and I spoke about our diversity. We have 40% diversity in our workforce with women, which is the highest in an industry where the average diversity ratios are 36%. And over the last 2.5 years, we have actually promoted 35% of the employee base in India. So they've either gotten a promotion or they progressed in their careers. So I'm kind of super excited about where we are. I do believe that Cognizant's heritage of entrepreneurship, working at the intersection of industry, domain, and technology, and a big, small company we are. I mean, we are a big, small company, very agile. I think I've kind of drawn from that heritage and invested into the future to stay relevant.
Well, you talked about 25 years of listing for Cognizant. We're marking our 25th anniversary here at CNBC-TV18 as well. But Ravi, talking about the commercial momentum to get back into the winner's circle, and I understand that this is your silent period, so you cannot talk specifics. But what is the sense that you get in terms of demand at this point in time? Is the environment looking less challenging today than it was a couple of quarters ago? The deal pipeline continues to look as strong as it did in the quarters that you just spoke to us about. What's the sense that you get about being able to amplify on the commercial momentum that you have now got?
So Shireen, I'll talk to you till end of Q2, which is the results we've announced, and we're yet to announce the Q3 results. Till then, I do believe it's a very complicated navigation. It's a navigation on one side with a period of uncertainty, a significant period of uncertainty, the geopolitical situation around the world, and a period of change because of AI. And in some ways, navigating the two is the most important. Normally, for the change we are anticipating in AI, we should have seen a CapEx cycle trigger off.
Yeah.
That didn't trigger off because there was uncertainty. So smarter players, what they're really doing, and we have applied that template, is the ability to take cost out, the ability to have high productivity, the ability to give a value proposition for consolidation, use those savings and underwrite it for change. I mean, that's what we have done.
Right.
And that has enabled clients to not trigger the CapEx cycles, but also invest in the future.
But do you feel the need to take more costs out? And do you have the ability, for instance, to take more costs out?
I mean, with the advent of AI, I genuinely believe the cost of technology deployment will go down. I mean, if you look at historically, if you see two big waves which have happened on cost takeout, the first is when offshoring happened in the 90s. When that happened, really what happened was, as deployment cost of technology went down, the amount of technology spend went up because of the elasticity.
Yeah.
When the cloud happened, the plumbing to building ratios changed. Plumbing was 70%, 30% was building. That ratio turned on its head. 70% became building and 30% plumbing. The cost of technology went down, the cost of deployment of technology went down, and the spend of technology went up. With the advent of AI, which is uniquely different, because what AI is doing is not just impacting workers at the bottom of the pyramid, but also impacting knowledge workers. As AI will increase the productivity, I do believe technology spend will actually increase, because that same elasticity is there. And as you deploy technology at a lower cost, it will actually lead to higher technology